I'm on my way to the store to pick up my copy of the new Necromunda. And after that I will open it so that you can all see it. So welcome to this episode of Let's Play. Today was the release of the new Necromunda Underhive, and I just picked up my copy, and I thought you wanted to join me for an unboxing of the game. This is not meant to be an unboxing channel, but I use these games to talk about other things. So in this case I want to talk about creativity and freedom in gaming, and doing what you want with the game even though the game might not ordinarily be used for it. So Necromunda is a quite old game from Games Workshop. It's still got loyal followers online. And this is a re-release of the game with new rules and new models and everything. Everything is new, more or less. So I know there are some people out there who want to see the new game, and I hope I can give that to you. And I know there are some people who think about the games more around, well, why do you like these kind of games? And I hope I can give something to you as well. But now, let's start with looking at the game. The new box is really nice. Of course, Necromunda, Underhive, Brutal Gang Warfare in the 41st millennium. It's the normal kind of phrases that's used in the Warhammer 40k world. So Necromunda is it's based in the Warhammer 40,000 world, and it's small warbands of gangers that meet and fight, while the ordinary Warhammer 40,000 is about large armies meeting. So the scale is different, and that of course means a different kind of gameplay. So you get much closer to each individual character in this game, and you care for every individual. They have names and they have a background story, or at least a bit of it. So that's kind of what I like with it. Let's go to the backside. In this game we have a game board, and there will be models and of course dice and all that stuff. The old game was quite popular because it was played in 3 dimensions. So it was a lot of playing also upwards, not only in one level. That's not in this game. And the reason is Games Workshop wanted to make this as one game in a box, rather than as most model games, something that you expand and can't play until after a while. So if you pick up this box, you will have everything you need to play directly from the box. Well, of course you need to glue your models and all that stuff, but you have everything you need to play a game. But it's probably not the game you want if you like Necromunda, and for me, who like Necromunda and who likes the other games that are around the Necromunda space of playing. I will talk a bit more about that later. This is not enough. So I got this box, but I also need this book. So this is more or less, if you compare it to the old Necromunda, these are the rules that's missing in the box to make the old Necromunda. And when I say old Necromunda, the new game has different rules, so it is a different game in that way. I've seen it played, I haven't played it yet. I will do that as soon as I open the box, more or less. But these are the rules for playing long campaigns, and these are the rules for playing in 3 dimensions, so you can play upwards as well, and things like that. So if you want to play the old Necromunda, you need a box and you need this. Anyway, we will look at the box now. So let's open this one. Of course, these are the normal Games Workshop boxes with plastic. So it's plastic, you get rid of the plastic and then it's open. Nothing strange. And within the box we will find first lots of plastic. Templates. Gangs, so these are the models who will be able to play. And some walls and things like that. I will go through all of these. We have a paper explaining how to put things together. I don't think we need to look more at that one for now. You have the rule book, Necromunda Underhive. You have the cardboard play area, which is meant to be tunnels, and that is the reason for or the excuse for them making it two-dimensional as well. Some plastic boxes, dice, the ground plates for people to stand on, a deck of cards. There's a couple of different kinds of cards in this one. And a measuring stick. Also, the box in itself has the same kind of... is used as a room in together with this cardboard plates. So, and then you could put a door here, for example, and you can walk into this room. So you will actually use the box itself in the game. Therefore you have the nice sides. So there's a, well, that's as much 3-dimension as you're gonna get. Anyway, let's remove this one. And let's look at those. The ruler we don't need to look at now, I think. Yeah, let's go for this one. If I can get it opened. So these are the subway tunnels and things like that. And they are two-sided. So there's 10 of them and 2 sides, so 20 different sides. Or, sorry, 9 of them, because these are other stuff that you need for the game. Markers and angle measurements, and yeah, things basically. Tunnels, 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 and so on. The main book, of course, plastic here as well. The quick guide of the game, the one that's kind of nice to have nearby when you play, and then the game rules in themselves. Showing models, really nice layout, lots of new images from what I heard. Lots of background story actually. About 1/3 of the book is background material and just setting the scene. And then there are game rules. I will actually not go that far into the game rules here. a lot of it is similar. I mean, the basic principles are quite similar to most of the Warhammer 40,000 things and to the Necromunda thing, with weapon skills and ballistic skills and measuring against each other in similar ways as you're used to if you played one of these games before. Well, the biggest difference is it's not one side moving and then the other side moving. It's character by character. So one character moves and then one from the opposite team moves and then back and forth, making it a bit more. Since there's so few characters, I think it makes sense that and every character is so important in themselves. It makes sense that not as much happens between each movements for the player. And as I said, this isn't really it. This plus this makes the game. So there are some more scenarios. There are scenarios in the first book as well. But most importantly, there are campaign rules, and there are some extra rules that are missing in the first one, like moving upwards and things like that. But I would say that is probably the smaller part of it. But if you want a more advanced game, you need this book as well. I don't remember the prices now since I'm in Sweden and bought it in Swedish money. So for me it was about 200 kronor, but I guess that doesn't say anything unless you're from here. And this is a game about characters and details about each character, and I think that's what I find interesting with it. And as I said, I'm going to go into some other games as well, because there's a big community around an old game called Inquisitor, which is about the kind of shady stuff that happens in the background of the big games in Warhammer 40,000. And that's the area where I was more interested, because in there you played with very few characters, played with 3-4 characters, while here you might have 10 characters, and in Warhammer 40,000 you might have 50 models. So when you have 50 models, of course you don't care about them that much, each individual soldier. But if you have 3 characters, they are actually individuals that you care about, so they get a backstory. And that backstory part is where what I like with the game, and that's also what I like with the Warhammer 40,000 world, because there are so many small details and so much backstory, because the game is so old by now, and of course a lot of it doesn't really fit with itself anymore. There's a lot of rewrites and things like that, but it starts to turn into a really nice, dark and gritty world. That's interesting to think about what's possible here. So I think that's where the game is really interesting. And of course, from Inquisitor, there was a lot of people playing Necromunda, and people developed a crossover game they called Inquisimunda. And that's where we are playing right now, or rather when we're starting to play. So I hope there will be more episodes on this vlog about our playing of that game. Because in that game we have a lot of the focus on making our own things, not just taking the book and following the rules, but changing the rules and thinking about them in a way that creates a world. So giving yourself freedom to break the rules in a way that everybody likes. And looking for these small details and finding those and building those things. So hopefully there will be, I'm not going to promise anything, because as you know, I'm quite slow in actually producing these videos. But I hope to be able to show you a bit of our modding of characters and how we think around making characters and all that in a future video. Anyway, I guess this is what you're waiting for if you are interested in this game. Let's look at the actual sprues of plastic. In the new Necromunda, you get 2 of these gangs. So it's about gang warfare, and you get sprues for 2 gangs. the Goliath and the Escher. This is one of the sprues for Goliath. And there are 2 sprues that are exactly the same. And the same thing for Escher, there are 2 sprues that are exactly the same. So in total you're gonna get, I think it was 10. Yeah, so there's 5 models on each sprue. And in the base boxes there's usually these ready-made characters that just fit together in one way. And at least from what I heard, I haven't studied that closely yet, but at least from what I heard, that's not the case here. In this box you actually get a chance to make different characters. You can put the characters together in many different ways, which of course fits with the game, because you want to make your character, and you want to make your character and give it a name and give it the stuff that you want that one to have, and then you mod and build. Since you have so few characters, you are, instead of making your army by removing or adding a squad of soldiers, you are adding or removing a gun or a knife or something in a smaller scale. So the Goliaths are some kind of big hulking characters, quite good at close combat. And of course there are quite big hand weapons and a lot of guns. And then the really heavy characters, of course, which are big and brutes. Next we have the Escher. They are, I guess they are based around the Amazons or something like that. So it's a gang of female warriors, lots of laser weapons and close combat, mostly. And they did one really interesting thing with this one. So you have the models here, of course, and then you have heads. Let's see if I can find some. Yeah, here there are. So these are the heads. But the heads does not have any hair, because one of the things with the aesthetics of the Escher has always been quite extreme hairdos. So all the hairs are loose. So you actually fit a head together with a hair. And that of course makes it possible to make a lot more different characters just by mixing them up a bit. Same thing here, 2 sprues that are exactly the same. Then we have the bulkheads, so these are doors and other things that are in the way so that you can't shoot directly at each other. And then some other stuff. Broken doors, a tentacle, a pool of something. No? I don't know what that is. Crates of ammunition. Different stuff. For you who have played the game before, you recognize these, or if you played any of the Warhammer 40,000 games, it's the same flamer, small and big grenades. The plates for putting the characters on have similar themes to the rest of the ground structures. So there's this metal and bulkhead things. Some dice. These are just ordinary 6-sided dice with a nice print with the logo on one side. This has to do with targeting. So this one you recognize if you played before. That's the one that shows in what direction, if you miss, in what direction it goes. This one is tied to if a weapon jams and things like that, if I remember correctly. And these have to do with injuries. Because in a game like this, of course, it's not just does the character live or die, it's more about what kind of injuries does it get, is it hurt the next time I play, or can I actually go into the next battle, and things like that. Which is an important part if you want to make this story-driven games. So it's really nice that they seem to put some energy into it. And finally the cards. If I manage to open them. And also here you can see that the game really is made for making your own game, not just following the rules. So here there are two gangs from the originally in the game, and there are instructions for how to glue things together so that it becomes these two gangs. And these are the characters. So each character has their values on one card, so that they can have, well, you know which one each. You know all of your characters, and you know how much they are worth. But then there is a large pile of these cards without nothing on them. So this is your chance to write your own characters. And you can see that they put a lot of them in the game, so it's obvious that it's meant to be used and it's meant to make your own game. Just as the old one, the focus is on making characters that you care about, which is really nice. And I hope that's gonna keep the game, or make the game as interesting as the old one. And that really plays to the people who like the old game. Then there are these tactics cards, which gives the characters or the gangs possibilities to make other things than the rules originally gave them a chance to do. And that's it. That's a look at the new Necromunda Underhive. I think it seems promising. We'll see what happens once I start playing. And then again, we're probably not going to use the rules as they are written. We're going to rewrite the rules into the game that we want, because my plan is to use the game rather as a step-off point for making this Necromunda games, the games where we take the basic rules and we turn them into this other game exploring these new spaces. And it seems like a really good game system. So hopefully we can do with this game what people already did with the old game. So we'll see what happens. No promises when those videos show up, but hopefully you will have a chance to see what we're doing, because we are playing that right now. Nice having you with me, and of course, as usual, like, subscribe, and all the other things you're supposed to say at the end of the video. Please do talk to me, send me a message about what you like about the game, what you didn't like about the game. Any input would be so nice to have, because I'm just getting into the new Necromunda and I haven't decided how I want to use it and if I'm gonna like it. So any feedback will be much appreciated, and do come with your ideas, or send an image of what you have done with the game, and maybe it shows up when we start playing our Necromunda and explore the Logan's World from the original Warhammer 40,000 Rogue Trader back in the 80s. See ya!